Welcome to the newest book title from Loyalty and Honour Publishing. This new book now exists purely down to the many requests I received from you to put the book into print and make it available. It is a concept that I find unusual, but you have asked for it, so here it finally is. The book has been put together to provide an insight into the veterans that I have met over a 25-year period during my quest to learn from those that were there, who fought in the battles that interests us all, and who helped create the historical era that we find fascinating. I have constructed the book in divisional order to help make it easier to read through. The available information on some of these former soldiers differs in depth, which dictates how I have presented them. Some, like this dual page, is a more in-depth insight. Others, such as this one, are on a single page. In my quest to meet the various history makers, I encountered many well-known survivors, such as Ernst Borkman, shown here during one of the visits to his home. Then there were some real surprises when seemingly ordinary former soldiers turned out to be extraordinary. This veteran was one of those, and is a real rarity, who you can read about in the book itself. In my travels, I crossed all over Europe, and one former soldier who was the first to endorse my Waffen-SS Nights series of books was this veteran. I travelled to his home in northern Italy, and what greeted me visually was far from my expectations. Another interesting read. As with many of the former soldiers of the Waffen-SS, they served in more than one formation, which added depth to the stories and provided information across different fronts and the battles fought on them. Some formations were harder to encounter and gain insight into from my personal travels. This former soldier served in one of those. The Waffen-SS contained volunteers from many European countries, and I came across a good variety of those, such as this former Dutchman, who served in 2 separate divisions. Another rarity encountered was this former Italian Waffen-SS officer, again visited in his home and during a family holiday. His overall history is fascinating to learn, both during and after the war. I was lucky to encounter many former Waffen-SS Panzer troops, and the one shown here had a very busy career on various fronts, being involved in many of the well-known battles we find of interest to us. Not everyone I encountered was a veteran themselves, but were closely connected to well-known former soldiers who were killed during the conflict. One such person is shown here, the wife of Michael Whitman, but also included the likes of the son of Fritz Witt. During my many years of travels to meet the various veterans I did, I collected a large quantity of signatures that range from divisional commanders and holders of the highest awards for bravery to former soldiers at the beginning of their military careers serving in the final weeks of the war. The simple A4 size print shown here has the signatures of many well-known former Waffen-SS soldiers, alongside a great variety of formations that made up the Waffen-SS. It was something that I added to over 20 plus years of visiting various veterans. Whilst my personal military history interest is on the battles and the history of the Waffen-SS, I encountered a number of non-Waffen-SS former soldiers. One such opportunity is shown here when I attended the Knights Crossholders Association reunion. In that room were former soldiers of all arms of service. Personal one-to-one interactions with former non-Waffen-SS soldiers came in many forms, and another example is shown in these pages, with a well-known and long-serving Luftwaffe pilot. This small selection of former soldiers shown in this video or just some of the many people I encountered during my quest to learn the real story of history from those that helped create it. I hope this book may be of similar interest to you in your own quest. Thanks for your interest in this, and visit the website www.lahpublishing.com where this and other books can be obtained. Thank you.